how do you accept the values through the keyboard? So for example, if you want to accept a value through the keyboard, so here you are going to declare a scanner. So if you are going to declare a keyword scanner, so you have to use an import java.util scanner. So because you are going to use this particular scanner, so in order to accept input values through the keyboard. So now here you are going to declare the instance and you are going to accept the values, so by using a system.in. So by using a system.in, you are going to accept the values and you are going allocating the some memory, so by using a new, and you are going to accept the values by using a system.in. So now here user should know, so what values he has to enter. Here we are going to show enter a first number. So first number, second number, and the result already declared as a double. So here you have declared a double, first number, second number, and result. So now first number is going to accept input. So what is IP? So here IP is an object. So by using this particular IP dot next double. So it is going to accept the value of double value. So next here you are going to use system.out.println, enter the second number. It means you are going to enter the second number. So what is the second number? Here you have already declared the second number. So second number equal to input dot next double. So IP is a object of scanner. So now you are going to define the result equal to first number value plus second number value. So now here we are going to print the result. So let us compile this particular program. So here you need to save the copy the class name. So you are going to save the program dot java. So next you are going to open the command prompt. So now we are going to compile the program keyboard keyboard.java. So now no error is encountered. So now we are going to execute the Java. So it is asking enter the first number 55.66, enter the second number 66.55. So now here it has shown the result, so 122.21, so which is the resultant. So next here if you are going to say, so we are going to accept the different values through the keyboard. So here we are going to accept the values double. So next you are going to accept the value integer. So double will be used a scanner dot next double. So for example, here you have given a scanner as an object. You can give any name as an object. So equal to new scanner dot system dot in. So which is the syntax. So whatever the object you have name you have created, by using that particular object name dot next double. Similarly, object name dot next integer. Similarly, if you are going to read a character, so at the time you are going to use a scanner dot next line. So whenever it will be accepted in the form of string. So next here you are asking enter a boolean value. So next scanner dot next boolean. So next it is going to display whatever the value you have entered through the keyboard. So next enter a string. So scanner dot next. Similarly, here it is going to print the value. So enter a character. So scanner dot next character at position 0. So 0 at whatever the position will be entered by the character, it starts from 0. So next you are going to give a next line. So next it is going to, you are going to ask enter the text. So the next you are going to declare a string line. So next it is going to accept scanner dot next line. So it is going to print the line. So finally it is going to close the scanner. So enter integer 55. So here I am going to enter true. So enter a string Pradeep. So enter a character C. Enter the line of text hello world. So Next it has shown, so the build is successful. So whatever the value is entered, so that particular value has displayed. So next one is typecasting and type conversion. So basically typecasting refers to explicitly changing the data type of a variable in a program. It involves telling the compiler to treat as a variable as if it were of different type. For example, if you are going to consider the syntax double my double, which we have given 10.5. So if you want to convert into the integer, the particular precision will be lost. So now integer my int equal to integer of my double. So it is going to convert into the integer, so that the particular double value which is having 10.5. So this particular 10.5, so 10.5 will be lost. So next one is type conversion. Type conversion is a broader term that includes both implicit and explicit changes of data types. It refers to a process of converting value from one data type to another. Implicit type conversion is also known as automatic type conversion. It occurs when compiler automatically converts one data type to another without programmer intervention. This usually happens when a value of smaller data type is assigned to variable of larger data type. Explicit type conversion, it is also known as manual type conversion or typecasting. It occurs when programmer explicitly specifies the data type of a variable. This is necessary when converting value from a larger data type to smaller one. When performing a certain operation, so this is going to happen. So now if you are going to consider example, so here we have declared a integer my int equal to 5. So similarly, so whenever you are going to declare double my double equal to my int, so it is automatically converted into the double. So next typecasting, so here you have given double my double equal to 10.5. So next you are going to convert into the integer my double, so it is said to be a explicit typecasting. So now here converting a string to double. For example, you have created a string name equal to 20. So string which we have given in the double quotes. So now double number, so which is equal to double dot value of name. So name is equal to 20. So name will be converted into the double. So now it is going to print the whatever the value is number. So next byte to double. So if you are going to consider byte, so byte is small. So for example, small which is having a value 124, and you have declared a double big. So now big equal to small. So then it is going, no, it is not having any problem. For example, small is a variable, so which is having a value 124, and you are having a big value, so you are going to place this particular value into this particular value, so you are going to place inside this one. So now it is going to be fitted, so this particular 124 will be placed here, it means 124 will be fitted. So when the particular problem is going to be arised, so the particular problem will be arised when you are going to convert that particular value into the small. So let us consider the example. So here you are having a big value. This particular big value is 16,800, 16,800. So now here you are going to declare a byte which is small, and you are going to trying to convert to place this particular value inside this one. So is it able to fit? So it is not able to fit even though you are trying to convert. So which is going to result loss of data if the double value is outside the range represented by a byte. So this particular problem is going to be arised. So now the converted value is, which is minus 96. So it has shown the converted value is 96. So it is fail, because so the big value which you have declared is 16,800. So it has failed. So because of that reason, so care should be taken whenever you are going to make the typecasting and type conversion. Next, the key attributes of object-oriented programming languages. So basically, these are known as four pillar of hoops. So let us see what are the four pillar of hoops. So first concept is about encapsulation. The next particular concept is about abstraction, and next concept is about inheritance, and the next concept is about polymorphism. So these are called four pillar of hoops. Let us see one by one. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is one of the four fundamental object-oriented programming concepts. It refers to bundling of data attributes and methods, so which are functions that operate on the data into a single unit or class. For example, if you are going to see at the bottom, you have a capsule. So the capsule contains the number of atoms together. It is said to be a capsule. So what it is doing? So it is going to encapsulate all the drugs into one single capsule. It means it is going to protect the number of items, and it is going to carry all the data items together. So this particular concept is said to be a encapsulation. So now, so in this access, what is access modifier? So basically, if you are going to see, encapsulation is achieved by using a access modifiers such as, so here already we have discussed about private, public and protected. So by making the data members of a class private, you control access to them, and the only way to manipulate the data is through public methods. So these are called as a getter and setter methods. So you can able to use this one, and you can able to set the particular functions, and you can able to get the resultants. So next, the advantages of encapsulation. The first one is controlled access. The encapsulation helps in controlling the access to the internal details of a class. Only the necessary details are exposed through public methods, and the rest are kept private. So next one is flexibility and maintenance. It provides flexibility in changing the internal implementation of a class without affecting the external code that uses the class. This makes maintenance and updates easier. Next, security. By restricting direct access to certain data members, encapsulation enhances security and helps in preventing unintended misuse or modification. Next concept is readability and understanding. Encapsulation improves code readability by providing clear separation between the public interface and the internal implementation details of a class. Next one, code reusability. Encapsulation promotes code reusability by creating modular and independent units that can be easily reused in different parts of program or in different programs altogether. So let us see the example program. Here you are going to define a student class name as student details. If you are going to consider, so here you are having a two different classes. The first class is student details, the second class is test. So here if you are going to consider student details, so here you have just declared a private string name. So even though you have declared a private string name, so and you have given a one method, so which is public get name. So by using this particular method, so you are going to return the name. So next, in order to set the name, so you need to set the name whatever the name, so which you are going to set from another class. So now, so here you are going to set the name by using a this name equal to name. Here we have created a class name called test. So if you are going to observe, student details is a class which doesn't have any main method. Test is a class which is having a main method, so which is public static void main string array arguments. So now we are going to create an object to student details. Student details is a class, and where you are going to create an object. Student details, S is an object. So S is an object which you are going to create, followed by space. And here you have created an instance of a particular student. Here you are going to use the object S. So now you need to use this particular method which is called setName. SetName, it is going to accept one parameter which is a string name. So here we have set the name and you are passing a parameter Pradeep. So now what you are doing, so you are going to pass the parameter Pradeep into this particular name. So this particular parameter is passed. So now this particular name is even though declared as a private. So this can be implemented by using a public. So if you are observing, both the setter method and getter method are public. So by using that name, you are going to retrieve the name. So you are going to get the name. So system.out.println s is an object dot get name. So where the get name function is residing, here you are having a get name. So it is going to return the name to the particular system.out.println. Let us compile this particular program and see. So now here it has shown the output. So Pradeep is an output, even though you have declared a string as a name. So by using a setter and getter method, you can able to access the particular data members and methods. Next, this keyword. So in previous program we have used a this. So what is this? This is a reference variable that refers to the current object. It is primarily used within the instance method or constructor of a class to refer to the current instance of a class. So let us consider this example. So how you are using this. So here if you are going to consider a particular classes. So here you are having a two classes. The first class is person, the another class is test person. If you see, class name is person, it contains different attributes which are declared as a private. Here private, string name and age. So two attributes we are using, name and age. So now here we have defined public person. So what is person? Person is a name of class. So what is this one? So whenever you are going to define, so this particular person name method, so which is same as class name, it is called constructor. So it is said to be a constructor. So now what you are doing here, by using a this, you are passing so two arguments. So what arguments you are passing? Name and age. So what is the name? Name is John Doe, age is 25. So where to where you are passing. So now the constructor which you have declared, it doesn't have any argument. So first constructor don't have any arguments. Second constructor which you have defined is having two arguments. So now you are going to call this dot name equal to name, this dot age equal to age. So it means you are going, whatever the arguments is received from this particular program. So here if you are going to say person 1 equal to new person 1. So it is a test person is having a main method, person doesn't have main method. So now here you are going to print person 1. So now person 1 is an object. By using a person 1 dot display info, you are going to call person 1 dot display info. So where display info is there, so display info is a method which is going to display the details. So now we have just given system.out.println to give some blank line. So next we are going to call the person 2. Person 2 is having two arguments. So here we are passing Jane Smith and age is 30. So which person it is calling? So first person it is going to give the John Doe 25. Second person is accept, first person doesn't have any arguments. So second person is having a going to have a parameters, two parameters, name and age. So it is called parameterized constructor. So now what you are doing? So you are going to call the person2 details. Person2 is an object, display information. So what display information? Again this method is going to display the information. So now this particular display information is having name and age. So where does it is going to set? By using this get name, get age. So here we have not used the set name, set age because we are passing through the constructor. So now here get name, so string get name, it is going to return the name. So get age, it is going to return the age. So now whenever you are going to use this dot name, so now it is going to assume, so whatever the name you have set through command line arguments or already by using a this, so this name, so not that particular name, so which is declared as a private. So you can able to access the data members and methods by using this particular constructor. So let us compile this particular program. So now it has shown the details of person1 and as well person2. So person1, it has declared a John Doe and age is 25, and it has declared the second person Jane Smith and age is 30. So one more example. So here we are going to pass one more values. So here we are going to use the, so first one is class name example. It doesn't have any main method. So here we are using a getter and setter methods. So here we are seeing, so there are two particular methods we are using, so which are getter and setter method. So first one getX, setX. So whatever the values you are going to set through setX, so in a previous program we have passed through the constructor. So without using the constructor, here we are going to create an object. So example evo, so example is a name of the program. So already we have declared a private integer x. So here evo is an object, so equal to, you have created an instance. So now evo dot set x 42. So whenever you are going to set a x of 42, so here you are passing one parameter. So that parameter will be assigned to this one, and whatever the variable you are passing is considered as x. This dot x equal to x. So it means it is going to consider the particular private variable which is declared as x, we are assigning as a public. So it means that particular modification can be done by using a public. So next we are calling that particular method evo dot sum method. So we are calling that method name is sum method. So sum method is a name of the method. So now it is going to call one more method called, so whenever you are calling this particular function, so inside this method it is calling one more method. That particular method name is another method. It is having a parameter called this. So this refers the current object. So now it is going to pass that particular object. So here this is another method example object. So it is going to take the example object as a class name. So whatever the parameter we have sent, so that one is going to consider as an object. So it means example is an name of class. So now here it is going to consider as an example object. So now here we are going to define integer value equal to, so this particular object dot getX. So what is getX? So getX is going to return whatever the value you have written. So finally it is going to print the value. So whatever the value you have passed is 42, that particular 42 will be printed on the screen. Execution is success. So now the value of x in the passed object is 42. So now it has printed. Next, constructor. Constructor initializes the instance variable of an object. It is called immediately after the object is created, but before the new operator completes. It is syntactically similar to a method. It has the same name as the name of its class. It is written without return type, the default return type of a class. Constructor is the same class. When the class has no constructor, it is set to be a default constructor. It automatically initializes all its instance variable with 0. So let us say this example constructor. So you are going to consider the my constructor is the name of the class. So now here you are going to define a integer number, and here you have declared a method my constructor. So my constructor number int, it is going to accept one parameter value integer number. So next you have declared a void display value, so which is going to define my constructor, so which is number. So within the main function, so if you want to call this particular constructor, so no need to create an object name dot method name. So if you are going to declare this one by using the flower braces, what do you have to do? So in order to call this particular method, so you need to call here already you have created my object dot method. So in this manner you need to call. So here no need to call the constructor, because so during the creation of object itself, so it will be invoked. So here you are passing the value 42. The value 42 will be passed to here, from here to here. The value of 42 will be passed to a number, and it is going to display the number. So now here it need to be displayed by using a my object dot display value. So here it is going to display the value, so which is inside the constructor. So now it is going to show the value. So here it is going to show the value constructor called with a number 42, and also the value display value is shown. So value in my constructor is 42. Next, default constructor. So default constructor is something so which is doesn't have any parameters. So earlier we have seen parameterizer constructor. Default constructor is having the same name as class name. So inside this particular method, so it doesn't have any parameters. So here just you have declared width 10, height 10, and depth equal to 10. So volume is going to return width into height into depth. So here it is going to print. So now here you have created an within the main method you have created an object for box. So which is my box. So what is box? Box is a name of class. So here we are using two classes. In previous program we have used only one class. So two classes we are using. So one is a box and another one is, so now test box we are using. So we have created an object my box for the box. So by using this particular object my box dot width. So what is width? Width is 10. So next my box dot height. What is height? Height is 10, and my box dot depth. Depth is also 10. So that will be printed. So finally volume should be displayed. So my box is an object volume. So whatever the value 10 into 10 into 10. So that will be displayed on the screen. So now let us compile this program. So now here it has shown the resultant. Constructing box width equal to 10, height equal to 10, and depth equal to 10, and finally volume is 1000. 10 into 10 into 10. So it has displayed the result. So next, parameterizer constructor example. So here we are going to create a parameterizer constructor. The name of the class which we have given is parameterizer constructor, and we have given a one data, so which is string language. So now we have given a same class name which is called parameterizer constructor. It is accepting one argument. So now here language equal to language. So next system.out.println, so it is going to print the programming language. here we have created multiple objects. So object 1, object 2, object 3. And how many parameters we are passing? 3 parameters we are passing each time. Each time 1 parameter. So totally for 3 objects, 3 parameters we are passing: Java, JSP and structs. So just we are passing this particular parameters to this one. So it has to print whatever the programming languages is appended with the programming language. So what is language? So language equal to lang, which you have set. So already we have set a string language. That particular language equal to lang. Lang will be accepted through parameters. So for that purpose, we are going to give the parameter which is string lang. So now it has shown the result. So Java programming, JSP programming, struts programming language. So next, constructor with command line arguments. So already we have seen command line arguments. So but how the constructor is accepting command line arguments? So let us consider this particular example. The name of the class is command line arguments demo. So now here we have declared a private string variables. So argument 1, argument 2. So now here it is accepting 2 command line arguments in the form of string. So in previous command line argument program we have passed any arguments. So but here we are accepting only 2 arguments, argument 1 and argument 2 is argument 2. So now we have a method to display the values. Argument 1 and argument 2 should be displayed on the screen. So now within the main method, here we have defined the main method. So within the main method, it is going to check if arguments dot length is greater than 2. So then it has to print the command line arguments. So how many number of command line arguments should be printed? Only 2. Argument of 0 and argument of 1 should be printed. So in the meanwhile, we are creating an object. So object name is demo. Command line arguments demo is a name of the class name. Demo is an object name. So here what is demo? So demo is an object. Demo is an object and you have accepted 2 parameters. So next you need to display the values which you have given here. Display values. It has to display 2 items which is argument 1 and argument 2. So now by using object only you can able to access. Demo is an object. Demo dot display values. So it has to print argument 1 and argument 2. So else, so if you are entering more arguments, so at that time, so it has to display a message. So please provide 2 command line arguments. So now Java C space command line arguments demo dot Java. So next execute the program Java space command line arguments dot Java. So now we have not passed command lines. So it has shown please provide 2 command line arguments. 1. So now 2 arguments it has accepted. If you are providing less arguments or more arguments, so it is going to show an error message. Here if you are going to see in encapsulation we are using a getter method and the setter method. So here we are getting the getter method. So setter method is used to set, get method is used to get the email, set method is going to set the email. Similarly get amount, set amount and set account number. So here we have used all the details of particular person. So it has to display the account number, account holder name, email, available balance and all that details. So just even though we have declared as a private account number, private name, email, private float amount, so it is going to display by using a getter and setter methods. So here it is asking enter the account number 123 and it is asking enter the account holder name. I am going to enter Pradeep and it is asking email. So next it is asking account balance. So just I have entered the account balance. So it has shown the information, account number, name, account email. So on the account balance. So abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details of an application from the user, presenting only the essential functionalities. It involves focusing on what object does rather than how it works. There are different types of abstraction: data abstraction and control abstraction. So coming to data abstraction, identifying only necessary characteristics of an object while ignoring irrelevant ones. It simplifies complex data types, hiding implementation details. Control abstraction. It involves identifying and exposing similar and repetitive statements as a single unit, useful when a function needs to perform specific tasks. So for example, if you are going to consider the currency, so currency can be in different types based upon different nations. So dollar, example, euro, and pounds. So based upon this particular thing, so you are going to hide the essential details, and also you are going to keep the implementation details of an application from the user. So it means you are hiding that particular conversion. For example, day to day stock market, a dollar, rupee, and as well as euro and pounds will be varying. So only the one change will be reflected to the other changes in entire program. For example, if you are going to consider a particular supermarket, one changes of a price will be applicable to all the sub branches of that particular supermarket. So next, Java abstract class. Abstract classes in Java are declared by using the abstract keyword, and it cannot be instantiated. They maintain both abstract methods. So it may contain both abstract methods and non-abstract methods. Abstract classes are incomplete and they provide a way to achieve the abstraction in Java. So now, for example, you are going to consider class is declared a name as engine. So it is having a only start method. So now here that particular start method has to be executed in the child class. So it can be achieved by using inheritance. So now here if you are going to consider extends keyword, so you are using this extends keyword if you are using inheritance. So now here you are using a method called start. So here you are going to print car is starting. So next you are going to declare a method called drive, car is driving. So now here you are going to create a main class within the car. So now car is extending the engine, engine is a parent class. So now here you have created an object for car. So this particular class, my car equal to new car. So why we have given this one car, my car? So because so you have used this declaration part outside the main, not inside the main. So you need to create an object. In case of static, no need to create an object. So my car dot start. So now it is going to invoke the start method. So car is starting. My car dot drive. It is invoke the drive method. Car is driving. So now if you see Java C main engine dot Java. So now it has compiled. So now next you are going to execute the program. So car is starting and car is driving. Here we have seen this example. Abstraction is a concept in object-oriented programming that refers to the ability to focus on essential features of an object and ignoring the non-essential details. Abstraction in Java is achieved through the use of abstract classes and interfaces. An abstract class is a class that cannot be instantiated and serves as a blueprint for other classes. Abstract class can have both abstract methods and concrete methods. An abstract method is a method declared without an implementation in an abstract class and must be overridden by subclass to provide a body for the method. We use interfaces to enforce behavior for multiple classes, while abstract classes allow only inheritance within the single hierarchy. An interface is a blueprint for classes that defines a set of methods that a class must implement. Interfaces cannot be instantiated on their own and must be implemented by a class. Also, classes can implement multiple interfaces. Advantages of abstraction in Java. It simplifies the processing of viewing things, maximizes code duplication and software reuse by using loosely coupled classes. This feature enhances the security and confidentiality of an application by exposing only necessary details to the user. As class become easy to understand, maintenance is simplified and debugging is easier without causing harm to other modules. Data encapsulation versus abstraction in Java. In sense, encapsulation is an extension of abstraction. Abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details, while data encapsulation is the process of hiding data. Data abstraction involves showing eternal details of an entity and hiding its implementation details, whereas encapsulation binds data members and methods together. Encapsulation hides parts of data while abstraction provides access to them. Next concept is inheritance. Inheritance is a mechanism that allows a class to inherit the properties and behavior of another class. For example, superclass or base class. This promotes code reusability and establishes an easier relationship between classes. Inheritance promotes code reusability as common characteristics and behaviors need not be defined repeatedly in each subclass. Instead, they are inherited from the superclass. This simplifies code maintenance and enhances modularity as changes made to the superclass automatically reflected in its subclasses. We use a keyword called extends. The extends keyword indicates that you are making a new class that derives from an existing class. This means of extends is to increase the functionality. In the terminology of Java, a class which is inherited is called a parent or superclass, and the new class is called child class or subclass. Hierarchical abstraction. The user sees a car as a single entity with certain functionalities, example starting a car and stopping a car and accelerating a car. Lower level abstraction. Internally, the car consists of various components such as engine, transmission, and braking system. Each of these components is abstracted at a lower level. This hierarchical structure helps manage complexity. User interact with the high level abstraction, while developers can work with a low level abstraction to implement and maintain the system. Advantage of hierarchical abstraction are simplified understanding. Users and developers can focus on specific levels of abstraction without getting overwhelmed by unnecessary details. Modularity. Each level of abstraction can be developed and maintained independently, promoting modularity in the system. Ease of maintenance. Changes made at lower level of abstraction do not affect higher levels, making it easier to maintain and update systems. Reusability. Well-defined abstractions can be reused in different contexts, enhancing code reusability. Scalability. As systems grow, hierarchical abstraction provides a scalable structure, allowing for the addition of new features without disrupting existing functionalities. Different types of inheritance. Inheritance is a mechanism that allows class to inherit the properties and behaviors of another class. Example, superclass or base class. This promotes reusability by establishing easier relationship. For example, if you are going to consider a class A and class B, class A is a parent and whereas class B is a child. It is called single inheritance. So next scenario, multi-level inheritance. Class A is a parent of class B is a parent of class C. You can say class A is a grandparent, class B is a parent and class C is a child. Next, class A is going to inherit the properties to two classes. So which is class B and class C. So a parent is having a two children. So next one, hybrid inheritance and multiple inheritance. class A, class B, and class C. Class C is having a two parents, so but the Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Java supports hybrid inheritance up to some extent, so but this level 2 doesn't support, because so in order to achieve this particular multiple and hybrid inheritance to full extent, we are using the concept called interfaces. So let us consider the program of single inheritance. So here you are having a class name as employee. So now here you are having a class name programmer, which is going to have some relation between employee and programmer by using a keyword called extends. So now here it has given a salary 40,000. So now here programmer will get the bonus of 10,000. So now within the main method, so we are going to create a object for the programmer. So programmer P equal to new programmer. So we have created an object of programmer because we have not declared this particular int bonus equal to 10,000 inside the main. So because of that reason we have created an object. So now here we are going to print the programmer p dot salary, which is programmer salary, p dot bonus, which is programmer bonus. So because it is going to invoke this programmer salary and programmer bonus, so but the programmer salary was not defined. So it means salary has not defined within this class. Salary is not defined within this class. Salary is defined within employee class, which is 40,000. So let us compile this particular program. Java C space programmer dot Java. So now no errors are there. So now we are going to execute. So now it has shown salary and as well as a bonus of the programmer. Here we are going to create a two particular classes. So first one class is a calculation part, and another one is another class which extends the calculation. So now here we have given a addition, subtraction in the main class, so which is calculation. So we are going to inherit some features of addition and subtraction. So another part we are doing in child class, so which is multiplication. So if you want division, you can able to add that feature also. So now here my calculation is a name of the class. It extends, it creates an object called demo equal to new my calculation. So demo dot addition, so which is going to calculate the addition. So it uses extents called calculation, whereas calculation is a name of first class. So it is going to calculate the particular sum addition and subtraction. So these two are from the base class, and multiplication is from the derived class. So now let us compile this particular program. Save the program, my calculation dot Java. So we need to take the class which is having a main method. So now Java C my calculation dot Java. So now no errors are there, and you are going to execute the program followed by Java my calculation. It has given. So addition of 10 and 20 is 30. Subtraction of 20 and 10 is 10, and multiplication of 10 and 20 is, so finally it has produced the output. So next one is a multi-level inheritance. So already we have seen what is a multi-level inheritance. So now here we are going to take the example animal. So everyone animal is having a common property, eating. So next dog is an animal, so which is going to bark. So next baby dog, which is going to weep. So three features we are going to give three different classes animal. So where animal is a base class. So now we have created one more class called test inheritance 2, and we have created a instance for only baby dog D. So because it have inherited parent is dog and grandparent is animal. So new baby dog. So we have created an instance by using this particular object d.weep. So d.bark, d.eat. So finally it is going to show eating, barking and weeping. So next, for a hierarchical inheritance, so it is going to show animal, dog and cat. So which is going to show. So and it is going to show the error. So because it is going to inherit the properties of animal. So cat, we have to, it has to inherit the properties of animal. So if you are going to see the particular properties of cat, so it can able to have a meow, so which is inside this one, and eat, so which is inside the superclass of this one, and bark. So dog extends animal. So here dog extends animal, but cat is not extending the dog. So because of that reason, so whenever you are going to call the method, so c dot bark, so it is going to generate an error. Next, super keyword in Java. So basically, super keyword is in Java is a reference variable that is used to refer parent class objects. It is used to call superclass methods, and to access the superclass constructor, the most common use of super keyword is to eliminate the confusion between superclasses and subclass that have methods with the same name. For example, if you are going to consider class animal is a one particular class and dog extends animal. So now here puppy is a class which extends the dog, and here you are having a, so here you are having a super main, so which is having a main method. So here if you are going to consider a puppy, so it extends from the dog, so dog extends animal, so animal is the main class. So here if you are going to consider the common properties among all the class are, so the particular method name animal sound in animal. Here you are having a public void animal sound in dog, and here you have a common property public void animal sound in dog. So these are the common features. So whenever you are going to create an object for animal, so it is going to call the animal only. So it is going to call, you are going to create an object my dog. So now here you have assigned an instance of dog. It means assigning, creating an one object and assigning to instance of another puppy. Object name is pet. So here you have created a new puppy. So it is going to get whatever the pet dot animal sound. So it is going to get the animal sound only. So at that time, so let us see this particular program. So what will be the output? Java C space super pendant Java. So now we are executing the program Java C followed by Superman. So it is going to show sound. So dog sound, animal sound. So epic. So it has shown all the properties by using a keyword. So next, super dot super. So for example, there are some situation like occurs. So the use of super dot super is, the use of super dot animal sound in Java is not allowed because it violates the encapsulation principles and the structure of inheritance chain. In Java, you can use a super to refer to the immediate class superclass, but it will not contain a chain super multiple items to access higher level superclasses. If you want to call the animal sound method, the animal class from the puppy class, you can do it without using super dot super. So instead of that, you can directly call the animal sound method of the animal class using the super. So for example, you are going to consider this particular example puppy extends dog. So now here animal sound is common among the all the classes. So whenever you are going to call the super dot animal sound, it will be getting the dog method. So it means it is calling the animal sound which is in the super class but not in this present class. So similarly, system.out.println, so the dog says the particular bow and wow, so that will be printed on the screen. The use of super animal sound is not allowed because it violates the encapsulation. So here if you are going to consider, so you can able to achieve by using a inheritance mechanism by using a keyword called exchange, so that you can able to get the superclass data members and methods. It can be accessible by using the super whenever both the methods are having a same name. In Java, we can access grandparent members only through parent class. Here, if you are going to consider, we have created a totally 4 classes. Grandparent is the first class, so it is having a same method void print. So parent is another class. It extends from the grandparent. It is having a method called print. So another class which we are having a child. It extends from the parent. It is also having a method called print. So next another class called main call. So we are using a creating a child object. So object name is C. By using this particular C, we are going to call the print. So what is print? So print is a method, so which is going to, we have created a child class, so it is going to invoke this particular method. So now whenever it comes inside, it is going to call super.print. So super.print is a parent class print method. So where is parent class? Parent class print method, it is going to invoke this method. So in within this method, again you are going to call super.print. Its superclass is grandparent. So in this, it is going to print the value grandparents. So instead of using super, we can able to achieve the mechanism by using a multi-level inheritance. So save the program and execute the program. So finally, we have executed the program. So grandparent print, parent print, and as well as a child print. So this is the usage of super. Accessing a super variable. So for example, if you are going to access a method super dot method, similarly whenever you are having a variables with the same name, so max speed 122, here max speed 180 in the class car, and again at that time, so which particular vehicle speed you need to inherit, at that time you need to specify super. So for example, in this one, super dot max speed, so you are present in a class called car. So super dot max speed means, so it is going to call the max speed 120, which is in the parent class. So class test is a vehicle, so which is going to call the method called, so car small equal to new car. Small is an object. By using a small dot display, we are going to call the display for car. So this method will be invoked. So now here it is going to print super dot max speed, so which is 120. So let us compile this particular program. Java space test vehicle dot java. So now we compile the program. Java test vehicle speed is 120, so because it has shown its parent class speed. So accessing constructor using a super. So basically constructor is a having a same name as class name. It is said to be a constructor. Person. Similarly, student is a class name. It extends person. It is using a student. Similarly, so whenever you are going to call just a super method, it calls the parent class. So by this you can able to call the super class, so which is a person. So it is a person method, so it is going to call the person class constructor. So here within the test constructor, we have created an object student is equal to new student. Constructor will be invoked. So during the creation of object and instance creation of the object. So no need to create an object and the method name explicitly. So it will be invoked. So now it has invoked the person class constructor and again student class constructor. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is derived from Greek word poly and morphs. So we have many classes that are related to each other by inheritance. The same entity, method or operator or object can perform different operations in different scenarios. For example, the types of polymorphism in Java is compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. In compile time polymorphism, we are having a operator overloading, method overloading. So whereas in runtime polymorphism, we are having a method overriding. So let us see one by one. Polymorphism allows the programmer to write code that is easily to understand. Let us see the example of class car. It has values like mileage. It has values like mileage, functions such as acceleration. So however, subclass A Rolls-Royce won't be having the different default acceleration value. For a programmer to correctly define this function, he needs to rewrite the same function again. However, polymorphism allows the program to use the same function name and redefine it in the child class, which was different implementation of the same method. In Java, polymorphism is mainly achieved through method overloading and method overriding. Compile time polymorphism using overloading. So here if you are going to consider mathematical operations, so public int add, so which we are adding a and b. So here if you are using a void, it doesn't have any return type, otherwise you need to return the values. Here also we are using a int add abc. It means it is having a three parameters, so a b c. So it have in the previous one we have two parameters, and again public string add, so string a and b, so which is having two parameters. It is going to return addition of a plus b. So here we have another class called compile time polymorphism. Example is the name of class, and we have created a main function. Within the main function, we are creating a object for math operations, because without object creating an object, we cannot able to interrelate these two classes. So now we have created an object math ops is an object name. So now here we have created a integer data types, see result1 and result2. So if you are passing two parameters, so it will be redirected to here. So the return, it is going to return the result. So if you are going to pass the three parameters, it is going to goes to this particular function. It is return the result a plus b plus c. If you are going to consider the string operation, so here result3, so hello and world, so this will be appended return a plus b. It means it is going to concatenate the values. So finally it is going to show the result 1, result 2, result 3. So what is result 1, result 2 and result 3? So those are the operations which is going to retrieve the values by passing the parameter to the addition based upon two arguments, based upon three arguments, based upon a string type arguments. So let us compile this particular program. We have executed the program, so 30, 60 and hello world. So in this manner we can able to execute the program. Next one, runtime polymorphism. So runtime polymorphism means you are going to pass the variables during the runtime. For example, class car. So here just we are going to call the system.out.println. So method name fuel. So in that method fuel, we are printing some value. So class sedan. So sedan is having a same, it is extends from the car by using a inheritance. So now it is also having the same method called fuel. So it is going to show different text. So first text is car can have diesel or petrol as fuel. So second text is shiny car but runs on diesel. So next third class is having a main method. So now here what we are doing, it is also having a same method name as fuel. So both the three classes have fuel based upon how many objects you are creating. So car is a name of class. You have created a A1, A2, A3, three objects, and creating an instance for A1 as new car, A2 for sedan, and A3 for engine. So now here if you are observing carefully, so we have not created car A1, A2, A3 equal to new car, but we have assigned A1 equal to new car and A2 equal to sedan and A3 equal to new engine. These different objects. So now we are going to call A1 dot fuel, A2 dot fuel, A3 dot fuel. So this kind of scenario is called runtime or dynamic polymorphism. So depending upon which particular object is called, the compiler has to take the care. So which particular object need to be invoked. So now car can have diesel or petrol as a fuel. Shiny car is second class, converting diesel to smooth motion. So third class. So all the classes are invoked. So finally static binding and dynamic binding. Static binding is also called as early binding. So whereas dynamic binding is called late binding. Static binding, it takes place at compile time, whereas dynamic binding, it takes place at the runtime. Static binding uses overloading or operator overloading method. Dynamic binding uses overriding method. Static binding can use real object is never used in static binding. In dynamic binding, real object is used in dynamic binding. Static binding can take place using normal functions. Dynamic binding can be achieved using virtual functions. So this is all about four pillars of hoops. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.